Hey, what is going on, guys? It's DK back at you with another video here to break down the two-game Olympic basketball slate on Sunday. We got it starting at 4 a.m. So the grinders got to be ready for it. I will be setting the alarm, doing a stream before lock. Did one at 5 a.m. this morning, so through 3 a.m. Totally fine for me. But yeah, guys, it's the first time watching. We cover content for Daily Fantasy Sports, player props, and sportsbooks as well. The sponsor of today's video is BetMGM. Guys, if you're not currently on BetMGM, you can use the link down below for a $1,500 first bet match. So highly recommend it. I always say in these videos, get on as many of those books and DFS sites as possible. And take advantage of the sign-up offers. And if you do click the link down below and deposit, it really does help support the channel. So greatly appreciate that. And yeah, if you guys are looking for more content, check out my Patreon link down below. Great day one. Player props, we full swept the board. Now for DFS, I was so incredibly tilted. If anyone is in the Discord, I had an ideal start, but just random massive foul trouble for Bruno Caboclo to punish me for no reason. I had Hawkinson, had Watanabe, had Calamara, had Giannis. Basically had like a perfect start, but just massive foul trouble for Bruno. Barely played, whereas backup Cristiano Felicio, Bulls legend, absolutely smashed. So for any of the matchup bros out there that said, oh, I mean, obviously it was not the best matchup, but Felicio absolutely smashed. It was just random massive foul trouble. Nothing you can do about it. All right, so let's just get into it. We'll start off here with Puerto Rico and South Sudan. Let's take a look at what I think the Puerto Rico starting lineup will be. So in their qualification game against Lithuania, they went ahead and started. Once it loads up, they went to Alvarado, Waters, Condit, Romero, and Pinheiro. So the offense is definitely run through the guards here with Alvarado and Waters. They have been kind of spreading out the minutes a little bit, but 6.4K for Tremont Waters. I think it looks a really solid play in the mid-range. Jose Alvarado at the top at 9K. Obviously does have a pretty high ceiling as well. Condit at 7K. So here, if you guys are unfamiliar with players, you can always go to Pro Ballers, type in their name, and then it'll pull up stats. And you can take a look at international stats as well to see how they're doing. So like we can take a look at George Condit, international. So World Cup last year, he averaged 11 and 7. In the qualifiers, he averaged about 11 and 6. In the preparation games, not as well, about 6, 4, and 2. Now the issue is, again, Puerto Rico has been kind of spreading out the wing minutes. Pinheiro and Romero, the other starters, but like just taking a look at the minutes in their game against Lithuania, because again, that was like a do or die game. They needed to win that. I think that can give us like a pretty good indication of what we can expect minutes wise. I can just read you guys off what the minutes were like. I got to bring it back up though. So you had Condit play 28 minutes, 26 minutes for Waters, 24 minutes for Alvarado, 22 minutes for Ortiz, who went for 4.6 boards, 21 minutes for Pinheiro, 19 minutes for Reed off the bench, 18 minutes for 18 minutes for Romero, 15 minutes for Howard, 11 minutes for Clavel. So like, again, they are kind of spreading out the minutes. So nothing I really trust outside of the two guards there. I think Condit's playable, but definitely not a must play. Like if you wanted to take a shot in like a cheap Jordan Howard, I think it's the worst idea off the bench at 3-4. But yeah, nothing I feel great about there at the mid-range. I'll talk about South Sudan. So South Sudan, we can take a look at what they did against USA. So they ran a starting lineup of, and they almost beat USA, by the way. They were at 40-point underdogs, 42-point underdogs. But yeah, Carlik Jones, Shayak, Wendy Gabriel, and then Kuhl and Omat were the other starters. So I really like Carlik Jones and Shayak here. Carlik Jones had like a triple-double against the USA, 8.3K. Absolutely love him. Should be massive chalk. And then Shayak as well, clear number 2 on offense. Again, those guys play big minutes. So like them both a lot. Wendy Gabriel should play mid-20s minutes if he can avoid foul trouble. He's a really good rebounder. However, looking through the box scores, he's been in foul trouble a lot. There's only 5 fouls in international play. So that is the concern there with Wendy Gabriel. JT Thor played in his first game, and he came off the bench, had a decent game, but he's 6.8K. The other starters, again, were, hold on, let me bring it up. Those, just want to make sure I'm getting this right. So it was Cool and Omat. Cool's here 5.5. Omat is 5K. Here we can take a look at just take a look at their stats, right? Quickly bring it up. Oh, whoops. Let's see. Ugh, come on. BULKU. BULKU. So in preparation games, averaging like 24 minutes, 9 points, 3 boards, 1 assist. And the qualifiers, 10 points, 3 boards. So nothing crazy there. But 5.5K, reasonable price. And then Omat was the other starter. And again, Nooni Omat. Also, I'll be posting, starting lineups are a little bit tricky to find, but I've been posting all of them at Patreon. So if you guys do sign up, you'll be getting those before lock as well. So yeah, Omat, nothing crazy either. In the preparation games, 8 and 3. In the World Cup, he averaged 14, 2 and 2. So, like I said, there's no like other like standout values, I don't think. But yeah, I think that the Jones, Shayak look really, really good there at the top. Here, let's take a look at the rest of the rotation. Let me bring it up. Just kind of look through the minutes for South Sudan. And again, this is how I research stuff, guys. So it's not too hard to find all this. But yeah, Jones and Shayak both played big minutes, 32 and 28. Kual played 27 minutes, 19 minutes for Dang. Again, Gabriel played 19 minutes, but was in foul trouble. Omat 19 minutes. Thor played 18 minutes on the bench, had a good game. Jock played 15 minutes. Malakoch played 12 minutes. Okay, and then USA and Serbia. So international basketball has been great throughout the years just because more casual players obviously flock to the USA. Now, the field has gotten much, much sharper because the USA should be the lowest owned team on the slate for tomorrow. They should be. Will they be? I don't know. Sharp players will be off the USA, but it's just because of the price points, right? The price points, and they're super talented, and they run a deep rotation, and they have so many guys. Kevin Durant's back. Again, you got 3 bigs, right? You got Embiid, you got AD, you got Bam kind of splitting the minutes. Obviously, you have LeBron and Steph and KD, and you got some scorers in Booker and Tatum and Ant, right? And you got some 3-and-D guys with Drew and Derek White. It's just like hard for me to recommend anyone with confidence for the USA. Now, in their most recent game, they started LeBron, Embiid, Steph, Booker, and I want to make sure I get this right. So this was against Germany. They've been switching up a little bit, but yeah, in their most recent game, close game against Germany, they went with LeBron, Steph, Embiid, Booker, and Drew Holiday. Drew's been in there a lot just because, again, he's one of the better defenders on the team. But yeah, I mean, there's no standouts here for the USA. I think the cheaper guys are probably a little bit easier to get to, but they're still not even that cheap. Like Ant at 7.4, I think is a little bit interesting. AD at 8.2, I think is playable off the bench. He's had some good games. I would say probably AD would be my favorite factoring in salary. I mean, if you want to take a shot in like a Steph or an Embiid or LeBron and hope they get hot in like low 20s minutes that they're probably going to play, you can do it. It's just, I think there's other options. Like for me, like I would rather play Carlik Jones at 8.3K. I would rather take a shot on Tremont Waters or Jose Alvarado, guys like that, right? So let's finish it up here with Serbia. So Serbia, let's see, do they have the box score up for this one? They don't. I know they have it for the USA. Let's bring up that one. So against the USA, Serbia started Jokic, Petrosev, Dobric, Guduric, and Armanovic. Now, Bogdan Bogdanovic had been sitting out some of these games. He will definitely be in the starting lineup. I think this game against France, I want to say Bogdanovic played. Let's see. This was a close game, too. Yeah, he did. So they started Armanovic, Bogdanovic, Dobric, Jokic, and Melatonov. The only reason they start Melatonov there, I think, is because against the 2 bigs there in France. But yeah, Jokic at the top, I think looks like a phenomenal spend up, right? Give me Nikola Jokic over anyone in the USA all day long, right? It's just Jokic probably going to play 30-ish minutes or so, 30 to 40 minutes, maybe a little bit more. And just a clear go-to guy, right? So Jokic looks amazing at the top. I don't think we're going to spend a ton of time there. And I do have an interest in Bogdanovic as well. If you want to play both the main Serbian spend-ups, it's not the worst idea. I do think Bogdanovic is a little bit overpriced if you just compare him to Jokic. Like, I'm going to prefer Jokic over Bogdanovic all day long. But Bogdanovic is their clear number 2 guy in offense and still does provide a ceiling. Now, the rest of this team is where it gets tricky, right? Nikola Jovic has been out with an injury. However, he played in the most recent game, and he played 11 minutes, 10 points, 4 boards. He was starting for Serbia in the World Cup last year. So, like, I don't know how many minutes he can play, but if he picks up the start, he would be a little bit interesting. Can't go to Pokashevsky. Micic has been starting some games, coming out the bench some games. I think if he comes off the bench 7-5, which is too pricey. Petrosev's been starting a good amount of games. He's 5.8K. I actually think he's probably your next guy to look to for Serbia in the starting lineup. Decent rebounder. Again, he was on the end of the bench for Philly for a couple of years. Again, he was in the Summer League for a bit. And then you have like guards and Dobric and Guduric, right? Those guys can put the ball in the bucket. Armanovic, not the best point per minute player, but he's 5.1K and has been consistently starting, so playable. But yeah, I will mention Meltonov. He was the starting center for Serbia in the World Cup last year, obviously without Jokic, but now you got Jokic there, so he's basically just going to back up Jokic. However, he is a good point per minute player, and he's the flat min price, so I think he's also interesting there at that price point. But yeah, guys, that's going to do it for the quick video. Again, I'll have a much more in-depth breakdown over on Patreon. We'll player pool, we'll do live stream before lock, starting lineups, all that good stuff. Player props as well. It's been a great start, and let's see if we can keep it going for tomorrow. So thanks again for watching. Again, if you guys do enjoy it, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification.